Vietnam is a magical country where ancient traditions and modern wonders merge together. Majestic mountains, endless rice fields, and picturesque beaches seem to tell their amazing story. Let's dive into this amazing world of East Asia and discover the secrets of Vietnam. You will learn the most interesting facts at the end of this video. The ancient roots of Vietnam go back centuries when the first settlements were formed on these lands. Over time, the territory of modern Vietnam became an object of interest for neighboring empires, in particular for China. Chinese influence has left a noticeable mark on the culture and administrative structure of the country. The Middle Ages brought Vietnam periods of prosperity and power, but also wars and divisions. The period of Le Dynasty was especially significant when the country reached the highest point of its cultural and artistic activity. In the 19th century, the era of colonialism began, and Vietnam fell under the influence of France. This period left a deep mark on the history of the country, and the struggle for independence with the French became part of the history of Vietnam. After World War II and the Indochina War, Vietnam was divided into North and South Vietnam. This partition led to the Vietnam War, in which North Vietnam was supported by the USSR and China, and South Vietnam by the United States. Many cases of ill treatment of American soldiers have been witnessed, not only with local men, but also with women. In this photo, you see an American soldier carrying a Vietnamese woman with her hands tied and blindfolded. The conflict ended in 1975 with the victory of North Vietnam and the unification of the country. Modern Vietnam is a country with a rapidly developing economy, colorful culture, and amazing natural beauty. Vietnam has a population of almost 98 million people, making it one of the most populated countries in Southeast Asia. The main ethnic group in Vietnam is the Kinh, who are also known as Vietnamese. They make up more than 85% of the population and have a long history stretching back thousands of years. The culture of the Kinh has a significant influence on the whole country, and the Vietnamese language is based on their dialect. However, other ethnic groups also live in the country. The ethnic diversity of Vietnam gives the country richness in cultural, linguistic, and culinary terms. The capital of Vietnam is the city of Hanoi. It is the cultural, political, and economic center of the country. The city is located in the north of Vietnam on the banks of the Red River, or Hong Ha, and has a rich history dating back more than 1,000 years. If you find yourself in Hanoi, then be sure to take a walk around the Old Quarter. This is the historical central place of the city, known for its narrow streets, old houses, and rich cultural atmosphere. If you like nightlife, then walking at night in Hanoi is a pleasure. As you can see, there are many beautiful women on the streets. However, the largest city in Vietnam and the economic center of the country is Ho Chi Minh City. Although the official name of the city is Ho Chi Minh City, many people, especially locals, still use the old name Saigon. This city is located in the south of Vietnam and has a rich history. It was a French colony until the mid-20th century. Today, Ho Chi Minh City provides many architectural and cultural legacies of this period, including the Notre Dame Cathedral, the Central Post Office, and many magnificent villas. Cultural and artistic events are regularly held in the city. But tourists love Ho Chi Minh City not only for its historical sites, but also for its nightclubs and vibrant nightlife. Vietnam's economy is one of the most dynamic and fastest growing in the Southeast Asian region. Since the beginning of the 90s of the last century, the country has carried out a number of reforms aimed at the transition to a market economy and openness to world markets. These reforms have led to significant economic development and attracting foreign investment. Vietnam has demonstrated stable and high GDP growth for decades. The country's economy is developing at a rate exceeding the average in the region. Agriculture plays an important role in Vietnam's economy. Vietnam is actively developing its infrastructure, including the construction and modernization of roads, railways, ports, and airports. This contributes to the development of logistics and the improvement of business conditions. Vietnam is the second largest producer and exporter of coffee in the world after Brazil. The main regions of coffee production in the country are the Central Highlands and Central Vietnam. Vietnamese coffee is most often presented in the form of Robusta. Coffee exports bring Vietnam significant revenues and help meet the demand for coffee all over the world. Vietnam is also one of the world's largest producers and exporters of cashew nuts and black pepper. Vietnamese black pepper became incredibly popular because of its high quality and taste. The country also exports other agricultural products such as rice, fish, seafood, fruits, vegetables, and spices. The crime rate is extremely low in this country. Although there are still enough pickpockets, especially in the markets. Therefore, if you find yourself in Vietnam, just keep a close eye on your things and everything will be fine. Tourism plays an important role in Vietnam's economy. The country attracts millions of foreign tourists. Vietnam has a variety of natural beauties. Diverse landscapes, including beautiful beaches on the shores of South China Sea, picturesque valleys of rice terraces, mountainous areas with lush vegetation, and nature reserves. Popular destinations include the islands of Phu Quoc, Ha Long Bay, and Dalat in the Central Mountains. Vietnam has popular outdoor activities such as hiking, cycling, water sports, diving, and more. The cuisine of Vietnam is one of the most diverse, fragrant, and delicious cuisines in the world. It includes seafood as well as fresh fruits and vegetables. If you find yourself in Vietnam, be sure to try local delicacies such as bird's nest soup and more. There is also a wide variety of street food in the country. This form of food is popular with tourists and locals. Snake wine is an exotic alcoholic drink that is obtained by putting a live snake in a bottle of alcohol. This unusual is very popular in Southeast Asia, especially in Vietnam and China, and is traditionally used for medical and ritual purposes and is also considered an aphrodisiac. Sometimes a scorpion is put in a bottle instead of a snake. Because of the huge number of Buddha statues, it seems that the main religion in Vietnam is Buddhism, but this is not the case. In fact, most Vietnamese are atheists. Some residents profess Confucianism. Local religious traditions, such as Confucian rituals of respect for ancestors, witchcraft, and belief in nature spirits, also play an important role in the spiritual life of Vietnamese. Vietnamese folklore is rich and diverse. It includes myths, legends, folktales, songs, dances, and many other manifestations of cultural heritage. In the folklore of Vietnam, the dragon has a special and honorable place and is considered one of the most powerful and respected symbols. The Vietnamese dragon is often associated with strength, might, and power. It is a great and powerful being capable of controlling water, rain, and other natural phenomena. Residents of Vietnam are actively engaged in sports. Training machines can be seen everywhere and they are rarely empty. Thanks to the light Vietnamese cuisine and regular sports, it's rare to meet a fat Vietnamese. All Vietnamese are short, and a man of 170 centimeters is considered a real giant here. Vietnamese residents wear masks not to protect themselves from viral diseases, but to protect their skin from the sun's rays. White skin is considered the standard of beauty here, and a tanned face is associated with hard work. All school children in Vietnam wear school uniforms. It can look different. Sometimes it is very similar to the uniform of the Soviet pioneers. English is actively studied here. To do this, children are often asked to interview tourists walking around their city. Scooters are the most common form of transport in Vietnam. They are practical, maneuverable, and ideal for moving through narrow streets and crowded cities. The Vietnamese have been using scooters for decades, and they remain popular to this day. Here, you can often see 4 or more people riding on one scooter. Also, scooters carry almost anything. Just imagine what huge traffic jams would have formed if all these people had moved to private cars. Vietnamese wear traditional cone hats to protect themselves from rain and sun, as well as from coconuts falling from palm trees. These hats are made of bamboo. They are very comfortable to wear. Son Doong is the largest cave in the world, which is located in the Phong Nha Kabang National Park. This amazing cave was discovered by local residents in 1991 and then was studied by British speleologists in 2009. Its length is about 5 kilometers, and the highest part of the cave rises 200 meters above ground level. The section of the cave called Jungle even has its own microclimate with trees and plants. Son Doong is famous for its underground river and waterfalls. This cave is a unique underground world with its own ecosystem and landscape. The Golden Bridge is an amazing architectural structure that has become one of the main tourist attractions of Vietnam. It is located in the resort town of Da Nang in the Bana Hills amusement park. The Golden Bridge stands out for its unique design. It has the architectural form of huge hands that seem to hold a bridge among the green hills. This design symbolizes the hands of God stretched out to the sky. The whole bridge is covered with golden paint, so the name choice was obvious. In fact, there is not a single gram of gold in it. The cable car to Fangshan is the longest in the world. Its length is about 6 kilometers. It starts in the city of Sapa and rises to a height of more than 3 kilometers above sea level. The travel time on the cable car is about 15 to 20 minutes. During the journey, amazing landscapes and impressions open up to the passengers. In Vietnam, most medicines can be bought without a prescription. There is no insurance medicine, so usually the Vietnamese have to pay for the services of private or public clinics themselves. As a rule, Vietnamese try to go to private clinics as they are better equipped. In Vietnam, the turtle has deep symbolic meanings and is often associated with various aspects of culture and beliefs. According to legend, the turtle was sent by the gods to help the locals and give them knowledge. The turtle is a symbol of wisdom and good luck and longevity. The Vietnamese believe that the turtle has protective properties. Its image can be seen on amulets and talismans, which are worn to protect against troubles and diseases. In Vietnam, they love football very much. Approximately 80% of the population is ready to miss work if the World Cup is broadcast on this day. There is no ban on the sale of alcohol to minors in the country. Anyone can buy and drink alcohol at any age, in any place, and in any quantity. At the same time, Vietnam is not in the first place in terms of alcohol consumption among countries. In Vietnam, people of various sexual orientations feel at ease. LGBT rights are very progressive here. The ban on same-sex marriage was recently lifted. LGBT parades are regularly held in the country. Vietnam is famous for its beautiful rice fields and terraces that have been created for centuries. These landscapes are an important part of the cultural heritage of the country and attract many tourists. Rice cultivation in Vietnam is a traditional and integral element of rural life and culture. Vietnam has two main seasons for rice cultivation, the rainy season and the dry season. These seasons determine the calendar of agricultural work. Rice plays an important role in Vietnamese cooking and is the basis of many dishes. You can visit Vietnam at any time, but each season has its own peculiarities. From February to April, although it's cool, you can enjoy the amazing sight of flowering trees in mountainous areas. If you come to celebrate the Lunar New Year, which falls at the end of January and beginning of February, you will be able to better immerse yourself in the world of national culture. However, many shops and cafes will be closed, since at this time, the Vietnamese usually go home to celebrate. The Tet Festival, also known as the Vietnamese New Year, is one of the most important and popular holidays in Vietnam. This is a time of joy, family gatherings, and traditional rituals. Ancestral rituals are an important part of the Tet Festival. Families arrange altars and bring worship to their ancestors, offering them fruits, flowers, and gifts. The red color has a special meaning during the Tet Festival, as it symbolizes good luck and prosperity. People decorate their homes with red ribbons, candles, and garlands. Fireworks and firecrackers are a traditional part of the celebration of the Tet Festival. They are torn apart to ward off evil spirits and summon good luck. In many towns and villages, parades are held with the participation of dragons and lions who perform traditional dances.
We're sure that our episode has impressed you. In fact, we always strive to choose the best ones for you. And we want to thank our regular subscribers and warmly welcome new ones.